speaker here and you give a solution, funny solution, not a solution. Solution is pretty simple. You have to write your script, practice, contact mentor. So all that is the solution. Funny solution. What can be the funny solution for this? To get the best speaker. Only one speaker. Okay. You have to work with VP and make it only one speaker and you are the best speaker. So imagine.
Pass on the link to external WhatsApp group.
Yeah, these are all some ideas you can list down. Okay, this is nowadays it is online. I'll give the link as soon as I receive. I'll give it to my family group, all the group. Come on, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. Okay. Or else, as soon as you are in, come early. Okay, there will be a lot of guests. Okay. Nobody remembers the name guest. Remember, right? When they give the name, they will not remember. This is the speech, right? But if you are early, you see the guest. Hi, my name is Karthik. I'm going to be the speaker here today. My name is Karthik. I'm going to be the speaker. Kalanjan sir, I'm going to be the speaker today. So he remembers my name. Whether I delivered a wonderful speech or not, doesn't matter. Kalanjan immediately votes me. This fellow, I know he gave me. He gives the vote, right? And the other thing is surgeon at arms. One of the things is equivalently, two speakers are equivalently good. Okay, both are equally good. Okay, and it is a tie. Who has to break the tie? The vote counter has to break the tie. Who is the vote counter? Surgeon at arms. You need to be very kind and pleasant to surgeon at arms always. Anything you do, you have to go check with the surgeon. The president don't mind. Surgeon at arms. Hey, come on, this is what I've decided. Budget is like this. What do you think? What is your suggestion? A flyer, do you saw the flyer? Did you really like it? You ask everything and compliment this costume. Hey, really looks good, man. You look younger. So all that you do, when there is a tie, you will think, this fellow never talks to me. This is my fellow. Come on, you know what? Right? And during the break, maybe some of the clubs after the break they will be voting. And during the break, I'm the speaker. I'm the speaker. So you give not all that. So these are the best way to do it. You have to do the wonderful speech. But the funny solution is you can think of ideas, list down ideas, and do something like this. Right? Okay. This is how the content can be generated. And issue or a challenge, and how you had a pain because of that. Right? That can be a speech. Instead of giving funny solution, there is a problem. You give how you go through because of that problem. What are all embarrassment you faced because of that problem? That can be something like that, right? So I was in a Northern Ireland. Okay. Seriously, man. I was in Northern Ireland, and I don't want to eat pork, beef, all that. Okay. I saw a subway close to my hotel. Okay. In Belfast, I saw a subway. I never been to subway in Chennai, but I know they give sandwiches, right? And I went to subway. And when you go to new place, what do? You always carry that. Get the right. You always carry that. I know everything. That kind of attitude. There will be an attitude. And I went to the subway, and there is one lady standing there, named Becky. And I looked at her. Can I have a sandwich? And she asked me, what is the bread you want, sir? All the bread we know is modern bread. And we will not give that attitude, no? What is it you got? And she said 9 grain modes, Italian, all that, so make it Italian. And she took that bread and sliced it, and she was ready in the veggies counter, and she said, what the veggies you want, sir? I looked at the counter. Except onion and tomato, I don't know any other veggies inside. So what you do at that time, you will not give up the get, no? Except onion, add all the veggies, please. Okay, and she added, and she was ready, and toasted. Before toasting it, and she was asking, do you want cheese? Yes, please. What is it you want, sir? So again I said, what is it you got? And she said, Americana, Swiss, mozzarella. No, make it Swiss. And she toasted it, and she was in front of me. What is the sauce you want, sir? This time I don't want to give up myself. I said, tomato sauce, please. And she was looking at me. I think this is the first time you walked into something. Asinga Patan, Atokara, that kind of feel I had. Oh my God. So I told her what would be the best combination for this. And she said mint mayonnaise and southwest chipotle. Okay, make it please. And after some time I had a chance to go to US. Okay. seriously, ridiculous. Along with my wife. Okay. And we were there in Olive Garden, that is an Italian restaurant. Okay. And I saw the menu, and we ordered chicken spinach lasagna. Okay. And the waiter was perplexed. And he asked, "What is it, sir?" "Chicken spinach lasagna." And he went in, and two of them came in and said, "What is it you want, sir?" Again I repeated, "Can you point it in the menu, sir?" "Oh, lasagna!" I was looking at my wife. That is the feel we had, and 45 minutes we were there. And these guys were talking about something, and I had a feeling like these guys are talking about us. Oh my God. That embarrassment till that $32 did not digest. So that is an embarrassment you go through. Whatever, at that point, what is the feel you will have? At that moment, in front of that decky, when I said this is the first time, what is your feel? It is not humorous at that point. You felt down. And when that fellow was asking lasagna, what is your feeling? I don't know anything. Oh my God, how I am going to come? Never go to, next time I will not be going to Olive Garden. But the feeling what you will have, see, I'm going to be the regular customer, he's going to see me again and again, that kind of feel you will have, right? But when I look at it after 5 years, what are all things we did? So that is what you need to look at. And there is a problem how others suffer. Elbow drivers. Nanda? A lot of things will be there. When you give the car to your wife, how you go through. So you give it to somebody else, and what are all pain you go through. Imagine when there is an elbow driver, and they will pull the seat to the extreme, and the face will already be in steering. Okay, and they will adjust this mirror, that mirror, and first gear they will put. That's what happens. And 3-4 times, and the neighbors or everybody will be waiting. Who is this? So that is the embarrassment you will go through, and they will be. My wife, during when we were driving, there is a IIT, we have to take the right, and she put the indicator. And we are in India, not in European country or somewhere else. We put the indicator, everybody will be aware. Here it is not like that. No? We put the indicator. We look at the mirror, we look at the ends, so all that, then we'll take that right. But these guys will take that right immediately and feel like when the bike comes, they will scold. I have already put the indicator, so that they will be looking at us. You can see how embarrassment you go through. So these are all issues, challenges, that's it. Issues, challenges, problems you face. From that problem or issue, challenge, you look at the current maturity, you will get the content. That's it. Pretty simple. And recently, Sundar was asking, hey, there is a program, can we have a speech? And I was thinking, what is it we can? English and Madras language, Bhasha. That's what I was thinking, why don't we do it? And there are a lot of content is not coming. Then I told him, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to tell him, North Madras. What is that people assume when from other side of the world? North Madras, what is that they assume? But what is the reality? That is what I'm going to speak. That is what I'm thinking. I'm listing down. If you have challenges and you give a funny solution to the challenge, and you have a challenge or a problem, and how you suffer, how you go through that problem, and third thing is how others suffer because of that problem. That's it. You get the content. You get the content. Idea you have, list down points, and you select, you have the content for in the speech. And next thing is, how do we build that content that is reaching to the audience? Sundar, I leave it to Sundar, he will add some masalas to the content.
Thank you so much for setting the contest, and opening topic. I think all of you have now a little fair idea about how to choose your content for humorous speech. Very specifically for the humorous speech contest. So we normally every year, the season of August will go up to November, December, the humorous speech contest will happen, and people will be eager to participate in the contest, and but their brain will be dry of thoughts, and I think Karthik has already given thoughts. Let me try to give different aspects of your humorous speech. So number one is self-deprecating humor. Always when you try to poke fun of another friend, so that person will get offended. Probably some of the audience may laugh, and after some time they will feel bad for that person, and you will be looked down. So when you try to make fun of others, it is not relished by one and all. And especially today, everyone is sensitive. So even if you put a like for a post, or even if you don't give a like, then people get offended. So that is the kind of world we are living in. So never try to make fun of others, but it is always easy to make fun of ourselves. So that is called self-deprecating humor. And the reason why do people laugh when you are trying to make self-deprecation? As mentioned by Karthik, no, when you are in pain and when you are sharing the pain, people laugh. Why?
We are not affected.
No, the human mind is like that. Oh, you also suffered. I am so happy. So I thought I was the only person who was having the suffering, and you are also having the pain. Then I am happy. So that is the reason. So always when you try to put yourself down, people are happy. So in the self-deprecating humor, there are little more subcategories are there. One is you can body shame yourself. For example, if I am the shortest person, I can talk about my shortcomings. So how I suffered being a shortest person, or I may be the darkest person, or I may have a bald head. Actually, some 10 years back, most of the contest people used to do all this. So if you go and visit a club, everyone will be talking about their bald heads or something like that. But over a period of time, people felt that it is not appropriate, because people may laugh, but someone sitting in the audience, maybe a short guy, he may not like that. He may not like that concept. So your humor should be appealing to all. It should be universal. So what can be the other aspects of self-deprecating humor? There are two categories. One is your own foolish act. Like Karthik mentioned, he gave enough examples. You are ignorant of the foreign culture, but you try to behave smart, and then you get the embarrassing moments. Your own foolish act. Second thing is, you are behaving normally, but the entire surrounding people, they try to behave funny, and I think all of us are familiar with the popular actor Vadivel. So most of the time, Vadivel's situation will be, he will be a normal person, but the surrounding people will be making some comical moments, and he will have a sadist moment. Why this Kolaveri? So that kind of moment. So for example, I have a very, common name, and which is not very difficult to pronounce. But wherever I go, when I interact with the strangers for 10 minutes or half an hour, after 10 minutes or after an hour, people will come and say that, very nice meeting you, Mr. Sundarajan. So let's catch up, Mr. Sundarajan. Sundarajana. Ingada Sundarajan. So how many of you know this actor called Major Sundarajan? Have you heard about him? Who can speak Tamil English simultaneously? So I think this Major Sundarajan had a major impact in Tamil people's mind, and that is the reason people still call me Sundarajan. 60% of the people call me Sundarajan, 10% of the people call me Soundarajan, 11% of the people call me Sundaram, and only 3% of them call with proper. And you all may be thinking that I am trying to make it up for the humorous speech. But the last 16 years, except 1 year being the officer, district officer, I participated in several contests, and I have a lot of evidences from our own Toastmaster fraternity. So in all the certificates, you can find all this combination. 50% of the certificates carry these kind of names: Soundarajan, Sundaram, Sundarajan, etc., etc. So I think this is one example of a self-deprecating humor. I have not done anything wrong, but people are making fun of me. So when you try to share, then you get a little bit of laughter. The second aspect is exaggeration. So you try to build and then try to exaggerate situation. But when you are trying to do this exaggeration, there is a limit. So if you overdo, then it is no more called as exaggeration. It is called tall tale. I think some of our Toastmaster clubs used to conduct a tall tale contest. Nowadays, I am not seeing that. So throughout the entire season, we used to have 4 types of contests. One is humorous speech, international speech, evaluation, table topic, and tall tale contest also used to happen, where you can build, and you can say that I went back in time machine, and then again I came forward. Actually, I crossed to 2024. Then I traveled up to 2050, something like that. You can build your story. So only for that contest, people will like it. But normally in a humorous speech, if you try to bring in tall tale, it may not be realised. So you should know the limit. Actually, in one of my own humorous speeches, I was saying that I was talking about me being boomer generation and the generation gap between the current generation. And I was telling that today's younger generation, they handle the smartphone with their left hand, and with the left thumb they are able to type it and then send a message and a GIF. But whereas we boomer, actually we have to take our right hand like this and the right index finger like this. So touch one letter after the other, and finally we have to do all that. So many people in my age group, they do like this. So in order to avoid this embarrassment, I did 2 courses, one from Coursera, one from Udemy on how to use smartphone. Theory pass, 100 marks, but practical fail. So the 5 times I dropped my smartphone and I had to change the class for 3 times. So I used this in one of my humorous speeches. I think all of you are familiar with these 2 organizations, Coursera and Udemy, and none of them are offering such kind of course, how to handle smartphone. So I try to do a little bit of exaggeration. So when you try to do a little bit of exaggeration, people will laugh. The third one is wordplay. Wordplay. So wordplay, you have to be a little careful. So not everyone will laugh. So people who are they are sharp enough, they will be able to understand and immediately laugh. For others, it may take 10 seconds or 15 seconds to understand what you are trying to say, and then they will laugh. So then, at this point of time, you have to give a pause, and you should not step on your own jokes. So when you give a laughter, and especially when you are playing with the wordplay, allow them, and not more than 10 seconds. So let them laugh, and then you proceed. So in the entire speech, I was saying that during pandemic, actually, all in my family, 4 or 5 adults were there, and all of us had to work from home, and our apartment was not sufficient. Then we let out our apartment and we went to a bigger apartment, which was nearby. So this place is called Janaki Avenue. So our apartment was at the end of the road. So actually that road was having a blind end. Blind end, all of you know, right? So it is a one-way kind of. And there was another road at the back of our apartment, which also had a blind end. So the problem was whenever the Google GPS, it could not locate our address properly. Whenever we order something from Amazon or Flipkart, the delivery guy will be waiting in the next street, and he will call us, sir, your order has arrived and you come and collect it. So I have to take my 2-wheeler all the way, ride for 200 meters, take a U-turn, and again ride for 300 meters, take a U-turn, and then another 200 meters, go and collect it. So it was never a door delivery, it was a bore delivery. So try to, while you are concluding that particular sentence, try to play with the words, or even you can use the other rhetorical devices like tryouts or something like that. So that will have a huge punch. Then the next aspect, so I talked about the self-deprecating humor, exaggeration, wordplay. Then the fourth one is sudden twist. You try to set a pattern by narrating 2 incidents, and the third one, you try to bring in surprise and people will laugh. I think all of us are familiar with school day jokes. People saying that one American, one Chinese, and one Indian went in a helicopter, and then when they were flying, that the pilot told that there is a turbulence and he will do a crash landing, and it is better you take a parachute and jump off. Then immediately American said that my presence is very much needed for my country, and immediately without taking consent from others, he jumped with a parachute. Then the Chinese also did something, and pilot said that only 2 parachutes are there. But the Indian was maintaining his cool. The pilot asked him, how come you are so cool? He said that the Chinese, he took my backpack. So the remaining 1 more parachute is available. So this is a common joke. I think you would have heard many such jokes. So first 2 you try to set a pattern, and then the third you try to break it. So during the pandemic, I used to conduct a lot of training programs. And invariably, I ask this question: am I audible? Immediately, people will say yes. Am I visible? Yes. Am I handsome? Immediately, some people will think and some people will say yes. At least even 10% of the audience say yes. My dopamine level will go up. So this is kind of a humor by bringing the sudden twist. So there are several different components like ironical moments, parody, satire. There are several things, but due to paucity of time, I have just talked about four aspects. One, self-deprecating humor, exaggeration, wordplay, and then sudden twist. So I think you would have got a little bit of idea about it. So I'll take a pause now here. And what we have planned to do is